Our final speaker before questions is Melanie Kirkpatrick, a colleague and a friend, a longtime observer of the situation in North Korea, author of an outstanding book related to this subject, and author of many superb columns in the Wall Street Journal.
Thank you, Scooter, and good morning, ohayo gozaimasu, to all of you, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to talk a little bit about the citizens of countries, of all countries, who have been kidnapped by North Korea. Let me give you a list of the names of the countries. They are South Korea, China, France, Guinea, Italy, Japan, Jordan, Lebanon, Macau, the Netherlands, Malaysia, Romania, Singapore, and Thailand. To that list, I would add the United States, because I believe David Snedden was probably kidnapped by North Korean agents in 2004. The tragic stories we heard earlier today represent only a few of the victims. There are many, many more. Several hundred Japanese were probably abducted. The number of South Koreans who were taken, fishermen, soldiers, students, ordinary people, runs into the thousands. Lebanese kidnapped victims who managed to go home reported seeing French, Dutch, and Italian women at a North Korean spy institute. Who are they? No one knows. Are they still in North Korea? North Korea won't say. Most of the North Korean kidnappings that have been documented took place during the 70s and the 80s. Do not, however, make the mistake of thinking that North Korea's history of kidnapping people in foreign countries is a relic of the past. Now, as then, North Korea has no respect for the sovereignty of other countries, the rule of law, or for the sanctity of human life. In recent years, North Korea's kidnappers have turned their attention to China, where they have kidnapped Chinese and South Korean citizens and taken them to North Korea. These people were targeted because of their work helping North Korean escapees who are hiding in China. A Chicago area pastor was kidnapped and taken to North Korea, where he died. This pastor carried South Korean citizenship, but was a green card holder in the United States. Since Kim Jong-un took power at the end of 2011, the focus of North Korea's kidnapping operations has been on its own citizens who are living abroad. In 2014, North Korean agents abducted a North Korean student from the university he was attending in Paris. The young man was the son of a senior North Korean official who had just been purged and executed. The student escaped. He fled from his captors at Charles de Gaulle Airport, and he remains in hiding. A similar episode took place in France in 2013, when a North Korean student vanished from another university. A week later, he reappeared on campus, guarded by police. The full story hasn't come out, but we know that French authorities made the decision to protect the student because they believed he was in danger of being kidnapped by North Korea. Who was he? This is where the story gets really interesting. His name is Kim Han-sol, and he is the son of Kim Jong-un's half-brother, the man whose murder Kim Jong-un ordered at Kuala Lumpur Airport in 2017. After his father's death, Kim Han-sol disappeared again and reportedly is hiding in a Western country. Kim Jong-un, who has no sons, may consider the young man a threat to his continued rule. Kim Han-sol is Western educated, and he speaks fluent English. He has called his uncle a dictator, and he has expressed sympathy for the plight of the people of North Korea. A threat indeed. One final example of recent kidnappings. Last fall, North Korea's ambassador to Italy and his wife defected. They left behind in Rome their teenage daughter, who reportedly is disabled. 4 days later, the daughter disappeared. She eventually turned up in Pyongyang. and she is believed to have been kidnapped from Italy by North Korean agents. Her seizure has been interpreted as a warning to her parents not to go public with the story of their defections. Early in his presidency, President Trump spoke about North Korea's horrific record on human rights. He invited Sidney and Fred Warmbier and a North Korean escapee to the State of the Union address. He and Mrs. Trump met in Tokyo with the mother of Megumi Yokota, the 13-year-old abductee whose tragic story we heard this morning from her brother. Recently, however, President Trump has been quiet on the subject of human rights. In my view, human rights, including the abduction issue, deserve a place on the agenda during the negotiations with Kim Jong-un. I hope the moment will come soon that the United States thinks the time is right to discuss this issue very fully and try to make progress with Kim Jong-un on this issue. As for North Korea, Kim Jong-un has given no indication that he is interested in considering Mr. Trump's proposal to help the North develop its economy in return for denuclearization. Perhaps he understands that developing North Korea's economy would require a far more open society than exists today, a development that could threaten his continued rule. If, however, Kim Jong-un reaches the point where he wishes to signal the world that he is willing to change and is serious about it, there is a way to get our attention. Identify and free every one of the abductees. Thank you.